I'm going to bring out the leader of the Eternals playing Ajak, Salma Hayek.
Who is Ajax? Let's find out. So before putting this together, I had no idea who he is. So what I've done is I've gone through the internet and kind of compiled a bunch of stuff as to who he is, breaking down his powers and all that stuff. But the interesting thing is that in the movie, he'll be played by Salma Hayek. So they'll be gender flipping the character. He actually first appeared in Eternals #2 in 1976, created by Jack Kirby, which is quite interesting there. After he had his time at DC, he came back and he created the Eternals with full control of everything. He wrote and edited and even drew the book. Ajak was actually a member of the subgroup of Eternals known as the Polaris Eternals or Polar Eternals. He was born in the era of Polaria, Siberia. His parents were Roka and Ama, and he had a brother named Arax. In the 13th century BC, he fought in the Trojan War. It's quite funny there. The character was worshipped by the Incan as the lord of flight. He was buried deep in the Incan tombs to sleep until he awakened by Icarus and stuff. So that'll be interesting to see if we get that. Maybe the movie opens with Icarus, waking him up. We'll have to wait and see as to where that storyline comes into play. Ajak once met Thor. He fought alongside him against the Dromedan, and later met him again in an encounter where him and Thor at the fourth host site in Peru. This time Ajak opposed him, but Thor won the battle. And during the third host of Celestials, Ajak acted as the liaison between the Celestials and Earth as a representing in Peru when they arrived. And becoming a gardener at San Francisco, Ajak sought to learn more of the Celestials and best Makareki. This led him joining Hercules in battling the Skrull gods. In that struggle, Kalbin, an eternal Skrull, killed Ajax. Ajak later came back to life through an unknown means and returned to the Earth to live with his fellow Eternals in Olympia. When the countless bodies of Celestials rained down on Earth to herald the arrival of the Dark Celestials, the Eternals learned the truth and that drove them mad. The true purpose of their kind was to cultivate humanity, since the first host of Celestials allowed humanity to thrive because they saw in their genetic makeup the potential to act as antibodies against the Horde. In their madness, the Eternals either turned against each other or committed suicide, including Ajax. That is quite interesting. He was also once attacked by the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., who were converted into stored atoms by the Celestials after their failed escape attempt. So that could be something interesting. Having some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. members in there. Obviously, probably not from the TV show or anything like that, but having some S.H.I.E.L.D. members there that could probably tie into the Spider-Man end credit scene with Fury and Skrulls and stuff, and bringing some Skrulls into here could be something interesting to play with, especially with the Skrulls in Captain Marvel, the Skrulls again in Spider-Man Far From Home, and now Skrulls again. They could be leading there, and then the rumor talks about doing a secret invasion storyline. I think this could be part of the helping setting that up and kind of diving into that could be quite interesting to seeing as to where things kind of go with the how the Internals could kind of set up the part of the Skrulls and more of the Skrulls and expand upon that. We're setting up history of the Skrulls just to way before Captain Marvel and all that stuff. So powers, we have levitation, flight, increased stamina, molecule manipulation, and cosmic life force. So pretty much similar to most Eternals. Levitation, Ajax is able to levitate like all humans by mentally manipulating gravitation and gravity particles around him. Flight, he is able to fly approximately 650 miles per hour or 1,045 kilometers per hour, an average rate for the Eternals. Increased stamina, he does not tire physically from physical exertion due to his high advanced metabolic process, so that's interesting there. Molecule manipulation, he can also mentally manipulate molecules, an ability shared by a number of Eternals. As a third level on a 5-level scale, Ajax can range the molecules at a mass of 990 pounds or 450 kilograms. In the period of the manipulation lasting up to 1 minute, so we can't do that for more than a minute. He must have an approximate of 1 hour recovery time before using the ability again. So that'll be interesting to see how that's used. Cosmic Life Force, like all Eternals, who long ago were endowed with self-regeneration. Cosmic Life Force, Ajak ages incredibly slow, marking his life in centuries rather than years. His powers of regeneration make him virtually impervious to harm. Only an injury of such magnitude that disperses a major portion of his body's molecules could cause death. The act of molecules manipulation causes a numerous drain of his cosmic life force, rendering him more vulnerable than normal. So it's kind of something he wants to do kind of rarely. Abilities, excellent hand-to-hand combat, and highly adept at wrestling. So immortal, right? He's been around forever. He's learned almost everything. And strength level, Ajax's strength ranges from average Eternal is superhuman and is able to press approximately 25 tons. So that's kind of interesting to see as to where things go there. He does have a bit more of a deeper history and stuff, but we'll have to wait and see as to where things go. And I didn't want to get too deep into his history and stuff, since the whole Inhuman history goes really kind of deep and stuff. But it's going to be a bit of a change to it, I imagine, with Salma Hayek playing the character and changing that up a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see as to how much we get of that, how much history we get from here. So we'll have to wait and see as to how things go. So let me know what you think, guys, about this in the comments below. What do you think about this character? Are you excited to see Salma Hayek spin on the character? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.